Hello guys, welcome back to Red Hot TV today. Jangebe schoolgirls held in Dangulbi Forest. The over 300 schoolgirls abducted from Government Girls Junior Secondary School, Jangebe, Maru local government area of Zamfara State in the early hours of Friday have been sighted at Dangulbi Forest, credible sources told us last night. The gunmen stormed the school around 1 a.m. and abducted most of the students who are between 12 and 16 years old from their dormitories. A school teacher who spoke to Daily Trust Saturday on the condition of anonymity said out of 600 students of Government Girls Secondary School Jangebe, only about 50 were left behind. However, the police in the state said 317 students were kidnapped, while the Zamfara State Commissioner of Information, Alhaji Sulaiman Tunau Anka, said the exact number of abducted students was yet to be ascertained. It was gathered that security personnel and officials of the Zamfara State government have established the identity of the girls' abductors. An authoritative source close to the efforts to secure the release of the girls said that the window of engagement was being opened to discuss with the armed bandits. The schoolgirls are being held at Dangulbi Forest in Maru local government area, one of the sources said. The source, who craved for anonymity because he had no permission to speak on the incident, said the mystery behind the abduction would come to the fore soon. The forest between Dangebe and Maru are known enclave of bandits who for years have been terrorizing residents of neighboring villages. The Zamfara State government said security operatives have launched a manhunt for the criminals. Governor Bello Matawale has been pushing for a dialogue with bandits for peace to reign, while the abduction happened hours after the state government said some repentant bandits had surrendered their arms. The Zamfara governor yesterday, in a statewide broadcast, ordered the closure of all boarding schools in the state. Matawale said his heart is with the families of those affected by the abduction. He said, "My dear good people of Zamfara State, this is not a moment to trade blame. The recent twist in the spate of banditry brings to the fore the need for the adoption of a uniform strategy across all the affected states. I appeal to the people of the states to remain calm and resist the evil machinations of those who would want to exploit the current situation to achieve political ends. Inshallah, with our collective resolve, we would emerge out of this situation stronger," he said. The news of the latest abduction comes 9 days after armed men abducted some students of Government Science College, Kagara, Niger State. The government is here to secure the release of the students. The first major attack on a school by an armed gang happened in Borno State, where over 250 students of the Government Girls Secondary School, Chibok, were abducted on April 14, 2014. 4 years after, gunmen hit Government Girls Science and Technical College, Dapchi, Yobe State, and abducted 119 students. In December 2020, over 300 male students were abducted at Government Science Secondary School, Kankara, Katsina State. Some parents of the remaining students damaged some property in the school when denied access to their daughters. One of the teachers at the school said some angry parents pulled down doors and windows of the school after Friday's kidnap incident. The teacher said many parents trooped to the school after the incident. He said some of those whose children were abducted slumped in the school, while those who found their children unharmed made efforts to take them away, but the school authorities initially stopped them for safety concerns. However, the parents were said to have reacted negatively, forcing the authorities to allow them to have their way. Initially, the school authorities prevented them from living with the remaining students, but they got angry and began to pull down doors and windows of the buildings in the school, and the authorities had to yield to their demands, he said. Some of the students who escaped said that the gunmen had in their midst women wielding sophisticated guns who went from bed to bed, waking them up. One woman in black attire woke me up by banging a gun on my head and shouting at me. I woke up in fear. I observed that dozens of my colleagues were being sent out of the dormitory. Some of them covered their body with their blankets. A student, Madina Hamisu Kawaye, said. She said she sneaked under a double bunk as the armed woman went to wake other students from their sleep. She shared the space under the bed with two other students. They were asking for money and phones. One of the women among them asked for the house captain and the matron. I overheard one of the gunmen telling someone on the phone that they had just entered the school and that they had begun gathering the students in large numbers, she said. She said one of the gunmen spoke in Fufude, adding that it was really a terrible moment for us. We could not get out of our hiding point until they vacated the hostels. Another survivor, simply identified as Zainab, escaped into the toilets when they were gathered near the school's mosque, about to be taken to the vehicles. I sneaked out of the crowd and ran inside the toilet. From where I was hiding inside the toilet, I heard gunshots as their vehicle zoomed off into the forest. We were crying and pleading with them to spare us, she said. A parent in Kawaye community in the neighboring Anka local government area, Malam Sadi Kawaye, said his two daughters, Monsura and Shakina, were among those kidnapped. I got to know about the abduction around 3 a.m. and immediately after Subhi prayer, I left for the community where the school was located and came back along with 5 girls from our community who managed to escape. 9 are with the kidnappers, he said. The atmosphere in Jangebe community was tensed yesterday. Some visibly disturbed residents stood in front of their houses while others pelted vehicles conveying government, security officials, and journalists. A journalist was injured in the attack. The Zamfara State Police Commissioner, Abutu Yaro, appealed to the residents not to take the laws into their hands, but support the rescue efforts. He said 317 students were abducted from the school, adding that the security operatives are on the trail of the abductors. When he and other top security operatives visited the community house after the incident happened, Yaro said efforts were in place for the rescue of the innocent schoolgirls. The United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, said it was angered and saddened by the abduction. UNICEF Nigeria representatives Peter Hawkins called the kidnap a brutal attack. UNICEF acknowledges efforts being made by the government of Nigeria to secure the release of the kidnapped school children and calls on the government and all concerned to make schools safe in Nigeria. And here is where we call it a wrap for today. So guys, if you have anything to say concerning this, drop your comments in the comment section, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much.